I saw a tweet the other day that said barbs are going to be what puts laws on the books about stan culture. And as someone who's really looked into stan culture, I find that interesting. Here's why. Obviously, this week brought renewed attention to barbs and parasocial relationships. They're one-sided relationships and a psychological attachment to a public figure. Now, it can be harmful, and many are outraged about the antics of Nicki Minaj fans that have allegedly doxed and harassed people online that have criticized her. Stan is a relatively new word meaning stalker fan and is attributed to Eminem's song from 2000 with the same name. Superfans have been around forever. I think about Michael Jackson, the Beatles, Elvis, but in the 2000s, it really took off with social media because we had unprecedented access to celebrities. They were showing us inside their homes, they were posting about their families, and they were actually interacting with their fan base as well. Fans finally had a hub. They could connect over #Navy, Nicki Minaj retweets Stan accounts regularly. But unfortunately, it also breeds toxicity. And when that conversation comes up, we focus a lot on music and artists with predominantly female fan bases. That conversation is rarely extended to sports and politics, where you see the same negative behaviors. For months, ESPN reporter Malika Andrews has been the subject of a concerted smear campaign brought on by NBA fans who didn't like her takes. It flooded her mentions, they brought her family into it, and she was even booed at an NBA arena while she was working. In soccer, men be ready to tussle over their favorite sports clubs. And in football, we see sports fans burning cars just because their team won the Super Bowl. And I'm just saying, barbs ain't the one storming the Capitol. We need to take a step back and look at stan culture as a larger issue of the lack of regulation and deregulation of the internet. I see more of this harassment as platforms like Elon Musk's X pull back safety regulations in the name of free speech. Here's the thing, the laws are not keeping up with how fast technology is expanding. The whole point is not to defend the barbs, is to show you that stans are everywhere. So if you're gonna address it all.
Stan culture is actually insane to me because how did I just come on this app and be like, hey, I have differing opinions from this large content creator, but like, it's fine if you agree with what she says. And then I have 16-year-olds in my comments being like, people can have differing opinions, and just because your personal life experience isn't the same as Emma Chamberlain's, you gotta...
I really hate stan culture, truly. And I hate it for a bunch of different reasons, to be honest. A few of those reasons being that anytime that you idolize somebody, you are dehumanizing them. Also, a lot of folks that people tend to idolize are terrible people. And instead of like acknowledging that, a lot of people will opt out to justify it or excuse it in various ways. Another reason why I hate stan culture is because y'all will perpetuate harm onto other regular people for your idol, even if your idol does not acknowledge you or even know that you fucking exist.
Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel, back in another video, and I am here to talk about a topic that I know is going to anger some people, is going to anger certain communities, but I feel like it is something that has been on my mind for a while. I have this running list of YouTube video ideas that I've just had sitting on my computer and that I go to periodically if I can't think of something to talk about. And this is something that has literally been sitting on my computer for months, I want to say, and I feel like it's a topic that is very relevant at this moment because of everything that is happening with Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. And what I wanted to get into is toxic stan culture. This is something that I have seen a lot of in recent years, and like I said, I'm not going to be talking about any specific group of people in particular, but I am going to be talking about stan culture. I am going to be talking about how a lot of these stans and fans of these celebrities and public figures tend to act. And so I know there are going to be people in the comments that are going to be very defensive. I know there's going to be people that are going to be upset. I know there's people that's going to, you know, not agree with what I have to say. And all that is fine. All that is fine. All that is welcome here. However, what I don't tolerate is disrespect. And so, you know, feel free to share your opinions. Feel free to disagree. But if it gets out of hand, you will be blocked, you will be removed. I will give a disclaimer that this is probably going to be a video where You know, I might read some comments, but I'm not going to be heavily in the comments because I already know I'm talking about a topic that is going to set off a lot of people. I'm not expecting a lot of people to agree with me, but it's my opinion. It's how I feel, and I'm not going to change it based off of what other people are telling me. And so just that little disclaimer, you know, if you're going to try to fight with me or threaten me in my comment section, you're not going to get that engagement that you're looking for. But, you know, do what you will, do what you feel is necessary. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about this because, you know, in case you're not aware or you're not familiar, just to catch you up to speed about what's going on currently. Basically, Megan Thee Stallion put out a song called Hiss, where she dissed a lot of people. Actually, she dissed a lot of people in the song, and one person in particular that you could argue that she dissed in the song was Nicki Minaj. Now, the diss in question here from that song was literally like 1 to 2 lines that she said in the song, and the line that people are referring to is the Megan's Law line, where she said, "You're not mad at Megan, you're mad at Megan's Law." And those who don't know what Megan's Law is is a law in which it basically requires that any type of sex offender has to register themselves and make themselves known in the communities that they are in. And so obviously, if you know of Nicki's husband and I think even her brother, that law applies to them because, you know, they have been registered as sex offenders. And so Nicki took that as a jab towards her husband, her family, and so that prompted Nicki to create an entire diss track against Megan Thee Stallion. I know she said it wasn't a diss track. I think they're both trying to claim that each other's songs aren't diss tracks, but it's clear as day that it is. Listen, people can do what they want when it comes to the music. Like, I don't really care if people are going back and forth. Like, I mean, that's what it's for. But in the midst of this whole back and forth beef that they had going on, it's also led to a lot of stuff outside of the music that I don't agree with. Outside of the fact that Nicki has been saying stuff about Megan's deceased mother, that just doesn't sit right with me and my spirit. Yes, I am of the belief that if you make somebody angry or if you come at somebody, you can't tell them how angry to be. I am with that 110%, but I think when it comes to speaking on the dead and when it comes to speaking on someone's deceased family members, I just personally feel like that's too far, but other people say that it's fair game. So I'll let y'all decide, how you feel about that. But what really disturbed me the most was seeing how the Barbs handled this whole situation. Basically, what came out of this, right, is essentially some of the Barbs had searched up where Meg's parents were buried, and they were threatening to go to the grave site and basically tamper with it, possibly dig her parents up. I was seeing all kinds of stuff circulating, and I did see a couple of articles out there, talking about how the grave site that her parents are at, they basically had to up security. And here's the thing, because I don't see how you could even possibly try to excuse this or try to downplay this like it's not a big deal. But I have seen a few Barbs saying like, oh, like, y'all are lying, nothing ever even happened. No one's saying that anything happened. We're saying that y'all found the address, which is true because the tweet was out there. It's since been taken down, but people saw the tweet. The address was leaked. There was conversations of going to the gravesite. So even if no one has gone to the gravesite, the people who worked there literally said that they had to up security because of the threats and because of the potential safety risks there. And so although nothing has happened to it yet, the fact that y'all even thought to do anything like that is disgusting, and it's a new low.
Police are now involved to protect the grave of Megan Thee Stallion's mom after the location has been released online. When I first saw this, I'm like, it's no way. Which one of y'all done released her mom's grave location? Like, that really gotta be one of the lowest of the low. Like, I understand her and Nicki got beef right now, but it's going as far to post her mom's grave, that's crazy. Y'all Barbies are different. No shade to the Barbs, because I'm a Barb too, even though I still like Megan too. I like both of them. But Y'all did not have to take it this far. People was threatening to dig up her mom's corpse. I do want to say that the Shade Room did say that thankfully no one attempted to carry out one. I don't know, the Barb's taking a little bit too far this time, because this could all just be like a huge publicity stunt. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. I feel like y'all going too hard with this lady. And then it's all because of one verse. Her mama ain't deserve that, and she don't deserve this. Don't go there. Don't go there, y'all. Don't do that.
Excuse me. What? Hold on.
If I give the motherfucking word, don't let me give the word and give the receipts. Oh, they on your ass forever.
Nicki already doesn't know peace in her own home, in her own spirit, in her own mind. All right? Whoever takes their little happy behind out there trying to prove their loyalty to her, to that woman's cemetery, to that woman's plot, I pray the night before you get the best sleep you ever got. Because from that day forward, you never will again. Oh, goodness gracious.
So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this would be a good time for me to talk about this. Now, like I said, I'm not going to spend this video talking about any specific group throughout the entirety of the video. This is for all the stands out there. This is for the Barbs. This is for Barty Gang. This is for the Hotties. This is for the Swifties. This is for the Beehive. This is for the K-pop stands. Whatever stand group you're a part of, I'm talking to everybody, okay? It's equal opportunity over here, okay? Because I have seen some really nasty, disgusting things happening behind these people that are supporting these celebrities. I think it's definitely going too far. I think that people are taking things way too personally, and I feel like it's now become less about supporting these people and more about putting down other people that don't support the artist, or you know, like it's become such a toxic thing to be a quote unquote stan of somebody. I feel like when you are a stan of somebody, it comes with a lot of stuff that I just don't agree with, and for me, that's why I can't bring myself to even identify as a stan of anybody. I don't think I ever really have. I mean, I've been fan of people, and I'll even say for me too, like I've always been a fan of Nicki. I've been listening to Nicki back in her mixtape days, back when I low-key wasn't allowed to listen to Nicki Minaj, because I was very, very young when Nicki Minaj like started to get some buzz, and I loved her, but my mom thought she was, you know, inappropriate for a child to listen to, and so I would like download her music like illegally, or I would go on YouTube. Like I would just do anything in my power to listen to her because I loved her music so much. And so I am a genuine fan of a lot of these people, but I can't bring myself to identify as a stan of anybody because of what that even looks like today. There's such a bad reputation behind being a stan, because a lot of these stans, first of all, again, you have a lot of them that are going out of their way to threaten people, right? It's like, God forbid you say that you don't like somebody's album or you don't like somebody's project, and you would get immediate hate. You get immediate hate, you get flooded with hate comments of people saying that, you know, your opinion is invalid, or that you're hating on the artist, or, oh, you're not a true fan if you don't like every single piece of media that they put out. And that's one of the parts that I can't get with. There isn't a single artist, and I have my favorites. Don't get me wrong, I have my favorites. But there isn't a single artist that has put out music where I like every single song and every single album they've ever put out. There isn't a single one. And I feel like that's the case for most normal, logical people. You're not gonna like everything that a person puts out. Even outside of music, right? Let's say you have a favorite YouTuber, and it could be any niche. It could be a beauty YouTuber, it can be a vlog channel, It could be a reaction channel. You're not going to like every single video that they put out. You might not watch every video that they put out. You're not going to be interested in every little thing that that person does. And I feel like the same thing applies to music. I can be a fan of a Nicki Minaj, of a Drake, of, you know, whoever is out, right? I don't have to like every single project they put out. And just because I don't like every single project they put out doesn't make me any less of a fan. And I think that's where the delusion comes in. A lot of these stans are delusional. I get that music is subjective, right? And I understand that, you know, I might not like a song, but someone else might like it, and both of our opinions are valid. But when you start attacking other people for having a difference of opinion than you because they don't like the same stuff that you like, I don't think that that's okay. I think that's very toxic, and I think that it's actually insane. And I think, and we see it a lot now, where it's like people aren't even allowed to have their own opinions anymore. As soon as you say your opinion on literally anything, if it's not with the majority of people, or if it's not with, you know, if it doesn't align with a certain group of individuals, the people who disagree with you, they can't just agree to disagree or just not say anything at all. They have to sit there, attack you, attack your character, tell you that your opinion is wrong. And to me, it's like, if I can't even express whether or not I like a certain project or not, I don't even want to be a part of that community then, because it's not a safe space. Like, none of these stan groups are a safe space anymore. Like, it used to be, like, when you're, you know, a fan of an artist and you're among that community, like, you're supposed to be there to celebrate that person and to share, you know, your excitement for whatever that person has coming up. But it feels like there's just been a lot of, like, toxicity that goes on in those communities. I noticed too, like, with a lot of these stans, it's like they idolize these people. And when you idolize somebody, like, you're literally putting them on a pedestal, and you're setting them, you have these unrealistic expectations set for these people that you hold in such a high regard. And again, nothing wrong with holding someone in a high regard, but, you know, like, there's a difference between being inspired and looking up to somebody and their journey and what they've accomplished versus putting that person on such a high pedestal that you feel as though they can do no wrong.
I thought we as a society were far beyond the point where we are now of idolizing celebrities, but I guess unfortunately we are not. I promise you, it is okay to admit that your favorite celebrity has faults. It is okay to admit that maybe everything your favorite celebrity is doing is not the best. Hell is not going to freeze over if you admit that. Like, I promise you, it's okay. Their PR team is not going to come for you. It's okay. And I'm not trying to be super dramatic if I compare it to Charles Manson, but seriously, some people are just so brainwashed. I'm sorry, but it's, like, kind of crazy. I think this honestly leads into a bigger conversation of, like, not only idolizing celebrities to the point where you can't even think that they could do any wrong, but also just, like, generally, like, no thoughts going on in general things, like trends going on. Like, you have no thoughts, you just blindly follow people, blindly follow trends, and it's so weird to me. Like, genuinely take a step back and hop off the bandwagon. I'm not understanding what is wrong with admitting people have faults, with having your own style, having your own originality. Like, that is okay to not follow the bandwagon. That's okay. I don't know, I think it's because of the whole, like, Ariana Grande situation. Like, you can like Ariana Grande but still admit that she did play a role in what she did. You can say that, like.
One thing I've always said is how you view celebrities says a lot about how you view yourself. Personally, I think idolizing people in general is just not right, but to idolize someone you don't know is crazy. Secondly, wanting to be like someone other than yourself is wild. Can we like ourselves again? Why does no one rate themselves? It's actually very sad. And thirdly, treating celebrities like they are not human is scary. Very scary. Too many people forget that celebrities are human beings like yourself. So why are you worshipping another human? Is it not strange? Is it not strange? Obviously, we can appreciate people's gifts and talents. I'm not saying we shouldn't. But to worship the person and treat them like they're not human is taking it too far. It's taking it just a little bit too far. I just feel like more people need to be more comfortable with their identity over others, and then I'll be happy. If you obsess over celebrities and celebrities' lives, then there's a gap somewhere. I'm sorry, there's a gap. There's something missing.
Y'all gotta stop. When I say this, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop idolizing these celebrities. We gotta stop it. It's becoming very scary and it's becoming very dangerous. We have to stop. We cannot idolize these celebrities no more, you guys. We don't know them. We don't know them from a can of paint. Idolize. Remember when we used to have idols and we would be like, oh, my mother is my idol, or my brother or my sister. Can we go back to that? But not these celebrities. Not these celebrities. Y'all, this stan culture, it needs to end. It's too scary. It's too scary. You gotta separate it. It's too much. Idolize yourself. Idolize your mother. If your mother ain't shit, if your father ain't shit, find somebody else to idolize. We need to start going back to mentors. You know, finding a mentor. You know, somebody that's gonna help us with life. You know, that can be an idol, because the way that this world is going, it's too much. It's too much. I'm sorry. It's too much. I can't. Stop it, guys. Stop idolizing.
And listen, I'm not saying that you have to be like a religious person or anything like that, but that's kind of the same way with like religion, right? Like when you are of, well, I'll just speak for Christianity, because that's, you know, the religion that I identify with, right? You know, when you're a Christian, it's like, okay, like you know, you idolize Jesus. You know, you idolize God. Like you're not supposed to put anything above him. And it feels like that's how people are treating these celebrities. They're treating these celebrities like they're a god. They're treating them as if they are untouchable. They can never do anything wrong. They're willing to do whatever for these celebrities. And that's scary. And again, that's not something that I identify with. I don't idolize people. I don't put them on such a high pedestal, because at the end of the day, these celebrities are also people. They're human. They make mistakes, and I'm not going to agree with everything they do, and I'm not going to like everything that they do, and that's okay. I don't think that you have to align with every little thing that a person does in order to be a true stan or a fan of them. But it feels like nowadays that's like the expectation. Is like, oh, if you don't support everything that they do, if you're not willing to go in the comment section and defend them, then you're not a true fan. And it's like, yes, if someone is, if one of your favorites, right, if one of your favorite celebrities, artists, if something bad is happening to them and you've, you know, supported them for a long time, then yes, obviously you're gonna want to support them. But there's a way to go about it though. And what I've seen from certain communities, right, is like they will literally sit there and bash other people just for supporting other people, right? Like, and I know y'all seen it, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about, because you see it all the time, especially in the shade room comments. You'll have a post about, I don't know, let me just make somebody up. So let's say that the shade room makes a post about I don't know, Lotto. I'll use Lotto as an example. So they'll make a post about Lotto, and the post could literally be, oh, Lotto went for a walk to take her dogs outside. You'll see people of another stan community go into her comment section saying, oh, why do we care? Y'all need to go stream such and such album, or, oh, why y'all trying to force this person onto us? And, oh, but if so-and-so did this, then y'all would be saying X, Y, and Z. And it's like, this post has nothing to do with this other person. Why are y'all even bringing her up and making this into a beef? And that's the other thing too. I know that a lot of stans will also create beef that's not even there, or that's not even really like relevant to the situation. Like, it's just crazy to me. And it's just, I could not imagine sitting around on my phone all day long searching up somebody's name just to sit there and argue and go back and forth with people because they didn't like so-and-so's song, or just, hey, even if it is just as simple as they don't like the person that you're supporting. Who cares? Who cares if this fake random account on Twitter doesn't like your favorite artist? Why do you care? Why does that bother you? Why does that piss you off so bad that you're now going back and forth with them about it? Who cares? Like I said, I have my favorite artist. I couldn't care less if people like the same artists or the same people that I like. There's a lot of YouTubers that I watch that no one has ever heard of. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, how dare you not know who this person is, and oh, how dare you not support this person, oh, you're just a hater. No, people like different things, and people dislike different things and different people. And so it's like, okay, if you have your favorites, if you got your people that you like to listen to and enjoy, then just enjoy that. That's what it should be about. You cannot force other people to like what you like. And even within the same, again, the same stan group, if you're both fans of the same artist, but you'll have person A who maybe they're a fan of their latest album, but then the other person isn't, that doesn't make that other person any less of a fan, and it also doesn't make you any better for liking the project. Like, it just means that y'all are different people with different opinions, and that is okay. So yeah, for me, I just can't get past people being toxic, people sending threats, death threats, finding people's addresses. I mean, again, I've seen that time and time again where people have literally threatened and found where people lived at, and it's never that serious. And I don't understand how anybody could see that as normal behavior or justified behavior. Like,
yo, one thing about Nicki Minaj, she's literally...
Yeah, I know you're not talking about the Queen Nicki like that. Like,
don't you live on 11224 Snickerdoodle Avenue in Boonesville, Georgia? And don't you work at 333 Chickadee Drive? And don't you drive a Mercedes-Benz with a dent in the back of the car? And isn't it missing some car payments? And isn't this your boss's phone number? If you let me finish, I was literally trying to say that Nicki Minaj is one of the greatest rappers of all time. My bad, girl. Let me delete the tweet. I'ma delete it. Anyway, girl.
Baby, stan culture has fried some of y'all motherfucking brains. For y'all to think that y'all can be able to just show up to anybody's house over a celebrity, bitch, you will get fucking killed out here. Do y'all understand how fucking insane that is to just show up somebody's house, to put a fucking note on their door, to tell them stop hating on your fave? Bitch, seek fucking help and find something to fucking do with y'all life. You bitches are pathetic.
If you or somebody you know find it okay to dox somebody just because they said something you didn't like about your favorite artist, you and that person are a threat to the community. And you guys should be treated as such. Like, you are in desperate need of a trip to the Grippy Sock factory and you should be locked in there until you're reasonable and mental enough to come out.
Doxing somebody because they don't like the artist that you like is not normal, sane behavior. Sending death threats because they don't like the artist that you like is not normal, sane behavior. Sending death threats to somebody who is related to someone that made a video is not normal, sane behavior. That's not normal. On top of that not being normal, sane behavior, it's also dumb because do you realize how easy it is to track it back to you? If you didn't know, it's very easy. Going as far as harassing people and possibly committing crimes over someone you don't even know, something that has nothing to do with you, is not normal. And if you think it is, you should seek professional help immediately.
And I do think a lot of these communities are reflective of the people that they're supporting. I do. I know that you can't control everybody, and I know that everybody doesn't, act the same. But in a lot of cases, like, depending on who that person is and what they represent, that's typically how their fans behave. And I even use like an opposite example. Someone like a Tabitha Brown or a Keith Lee, right? People who are doing really good in the community, people who just want to spread positivity and uplift people and motivate people. Their fan bases tend to be really like positive, and uplifting. Like, those are the kind of communities that you want to be stands of, because they're all about being positive and not spreading hate. And they make that apparent in a lot of their content. They're like, listen, like, even when they get into their little stuff, like especially like with Keith Lee, and all these restaurants getting angry and things like that, it's like you'll have people from that city who represent their city hard, again, threatening Keith Lee and his family. He said this, like, Keith Lee literally said that when he left Atlanta, he was getting threats. His family was getting threats. He doesn't plan on going back there anytime soon because of that. And it's like, it's not that deep. It's food. It's food. And if he didn't have a good experience, that's his experience. That's his opinion. He doesn't owe y'all anything.
Okay, let's talk about it. Every restaurant that me and my family go to, we were either A, invited by the restaurant themselves, or B, was told about the restaurant 100 plus times. From locals, from people who mention me, from people who email me, DM me. 99% of the time, I never go to a random restaurant. With that being said, my opinion was asked for. So many narratives being pushed, and it's insane to me. But let's be honest, what else do you want from me? If I go to a bunch of restaurants and have a string of good experiences, then I'm being too nice, I'm lying, the narrative is being pushed that my eye roll is fake and I'm lying just to help people. Then on the same hand, if I go to 2 or 3 restaurants where I don't have the best experience, now I'm tearing down businesses, now I'm being mean, now I need to shut up, now I need to mind my business, I need to sit down. Again, I can't win for losing. I understand everybody gonna have an opinion on the situation. You can disagree with me, you cannot like what I say. Completely understand, I'm okay with that. But when my safety and my family safety start coming into play, that's where I draw the line at. But what can't happen is when my family or the restaurants or anybody's safety start coming into play. It's absolutely overboard. Especially when I was asked to give my opinion. Because you telling me my opinion only matter if it's positive. Because if it's positive, you got my face plastered on the wall and you saying Keith Lee been here. But if it's negative, I need to sit down somewhere and you don't know who I am. That's crazy to me. People be like, well, you know what you're doing. You know if you give a bad review, people gonna come and flood it with hate comments. What else do you want me to do? I'm telling people not to go and leave hate comments. I'm telling people not to leave negative comments. I'm telling people make their own opinions. You want me to lie and say I had a good experience, or you want me to only post the videos when I have a positive experience?
He went about it gracefully. It really was social media that, again, made it a toxic situation. But Keith Lee was very clear. He's like, don't spread hate to these people. Don't go into their comment section. Go and have your own experience. And I think that's the moral of the story here. It's like, experience these people for you, and whatever opinions you have of, you know, whatever that is, like that is valid. No one deserves to be attacked for having a difference of opinion or a different experience with people. And then you had Tabitha Brown, that whole Wendy Williams situation, right? Tabitha Brown literally handled that situation with such class and grace and empathy.
And then my phone started going off, like praising people. It's like, girl, you're Wendy Williams. First of all, Wendy Williams, honey, God bless you. God bless you. Okay. And so people sent me a little clip and I said, oh my God, the pain this woman must be in. Wendy, the pain you must be in to feel this way. And I'm so sorry. But listen, let me tell you this. 23 years I've been with my husband. Yes. Broke for a very long time together. Struggled for a very long time together. Succeeded for the last couple of years together, right? My husband took a job in agreement with me. He took a job 15 years ago to help support my dream. And I know you may not know what that looks like in a genuine place, right? But this was an agreement.
And that is also reflective in her community, you know? And so it's just like, I wish more communities were like that. And I honestly wish more public figures were like that. But, you know, a lot of celebrities are just, they're not good people behind the scenes or even in front of the scenes. And I think that social media has exposed a lot of these celebrities. And that's the other reason why, too, I have such a hard time now, not even just identifying as a stan of anybody, but why I can't even like say that I'm a true fan. Because when I tell you, there's a lot of artists and there's a lot of people that I used to support back in the day, and it just seems like every year something crazy comes out about these people and something messed up comes out about these people, and it just ruins my whole perception of what I thought these people were. And again, I've never been somebody to like go in the comment section and say a bunch of stuff. I don't even really comment in other people's comment sections, to be honest. Like, it's very rare that you'll see me pop up in anybody's comment section, especially on like a super big page, like, again, a shade room. You'll never catch me in the shade room comments. Like, I have my opinions. I might speak about my opinions on camera or with friends, but I don't care enough to debate with people online about my opinions. But when it comes to being fans of people, I have been so disappointed these past couple of years with the people that I've been supporting. Again, Nicki is somebody that I've literally been supporting probably for over a decade now, and just to see that how she's behaving and, you know, how she's acting and just how her fan base is acting and how she, you know, isn't addressing it even. Like, she's not even telling her fans like, hey, like, y'all threatening people and finding people's grave sites, like, that's not okay. Like, to see her almost support this type of behavior, it's just really sad to see. And I just hate to see her acting this way. I hate to see how so many people in the industry now just have a bad taste in their mouth because of her, because of the way that she's been acting and treating people. That's been really sad to see. And even like with Drake, like, Drake is someone that I loved. He's literally been one of my top favorite rappers. Just seeing how he's been behaving recently and some of his corny antics, you know, that he's been doing lately. And shoot, even Ariana Grande has always been my favorite singer. Like, if you had to ask me who's my favorite artist, it's always been Ariana Grande. But god dang it, she went out here and stole somebody's husband. And so it's just like, I can't even defend or support. I mean, I can still, like, depending on what they did, right, I can still like try to listen to their music and stuff like that. But it's like, I can't sit up here and defend and go hard for people that are doing such shady and horrible things in these industries. Like, I just can't.
Nobody be talking about the grieving process where when you stand like a musician or something, and then years later that musician turns out to be flaming hot garbage. OGs, please feel free to air me out in the comments about who I stand for 10 years. But like, it's a whole little process, especially if you're on like that millennial Gen Z cusp. Because like, we didn't grow up with like cancel culture or quote unquote woke culture. So like, a lot of people were getting away with a lot of things for a while. Like, I had a poster of this person up in my dorm room in college for 4 years. My best friend bought me that poster like our first year of college, and I cried. I went to their concert when their tickets were like $20 and sobbed. I was on like a pill and some alcohol, but like, that's another story. And like, it's like a slow process, right? Like, first you see like a negative tabloid, like so-and-so says this, and then you're like, well, we all say things. It's like that problematic partner you have that you always try to make excuses for. Then like, more stuff start coming out, and like, this person's like your special interest, so you be knowing all the stuff. Then like, they'll come out with like a new song or an album, and you're like, this wasn't that good, so I guess I'll stop listening to them. But then you just like scrolling on YouTube and you hear like their old songs that don't get released on Spotify, and then you're like, you have so much potential. But then you go back and you're like, this person's problematic, they trash. But then you try to see the grays in between. But you know you can't support that problematic stuff. You just know you cannot. The worst is when you're like on Spotify and like their song comes up. Cause like, there's always that one playlist that still has one of their songs on there. Then they come on, you get all nostalgic, and you're like, damn, I'm problematic too. And then you just start screaming in the car, and you're like, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Then like, your OG friends, like your long-term friends, be bringing them up like, oh, so-and-so has a new song or they have a new movie. And you're like, we don't speak of this person anymore. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. That's not the artist I'm referring to. I just thought that song fit, you know? And this is why I don't stand anybody anymore. Like, I love Megan Thee Stallion is amazing. But I can't stand an artist anymore. We don't know these people. Even if they open your Snapchat, which this one artist that I was referring to opened my Snapchat, we don't know these people. So yeah, the only thing that Donald Glover has ever been right about was Swarm. We do be a little crazy over these people that we do not know. And no, this is not me siding with that man. Ever. I'm getting sick a little bit. Okay, this is the TikTok. Okay, bye.
You know, there's been this big debate about separating art from the artist, right? You've seen this conversation happen a lot, especially with, you know, R. Kelly and that documentary coming out, and people talking about, you know, like, what do you do? Because if you grew up listening to R. Kelly and his music has like that nostalgia factor, it's like, can you still listen to his music knowing what he did? And it brought about that whole discussion of, you know, can you still support somebody knowing that they were doing horrible things? And for me, I have a hard time doing that. I have a really hard time separating art from the artist. If I feel like an artist is just out here doing horrible things to people and they have all these allegations or whatever they got going on, if it doesn't align with my ethics and my morals, it makes it hard to support the art. So for me, it's like, I can't really be a fan of someone's music if I'm also not a fan of them. So there's a lot of artists that I've stopped listening to, or I don't listen to as much, because I'm like, dang, like I think about all these things that, you know, are coming out about these people. But I know other people too that they could care less what they do. They could literally commit a crime, you know, and they'll still listen to that person's music. For me, it just makes it hard, especially depending on the music too, because some people, their music, you know, what they talk about in their music is very separate from maybe what they did. But again, for someone like R. Kelly, like he, in some of his songs, he did talk about some of the messed up things that he was doing. And so, but people just didn't know at the time, right? Or people found out later. Like for me, like, you know, I'm only 24 years old. I learned about what R. Kelly did, you know, much later in life. And so, you know, back when I was listening to him, it was because like my mom was like playing his music in the car, and when she would pick me up from school or pick me up from my grandparents' house, I had no idea what these people were doing. I was like, what, 7 years old or whatever. Like I had no idea. And so, you know, it's just been really, really hard for me to support any of these celebrities. That's why I don't even talk about celebrities as much as I used to, because it's like I want to sit here and give people the benefit of the doubt, and I want to try to defend these people, but then it's like a couple months later they end up, you know, switching up, or something horrible comes out about them. And it's like, bro, I can't. Like, I'll give you a few examples, right? Holly Bailey. Now, me personally, I still don't care that Holly lied. Sorry, unpopular opinion. I don't care. I don't care that she hid the pregnancy. I don't care that she tried to make it seem like she wasn't pregnant. I don't care. I don't think it was anybody's business, to be completely honest with you. And the fact that people were so invested in her pregnancy was also very odd to me. And so I really don't care. But when it was first rumored that Holly might be pregnant, this was before the pictures came out where her stomach was showing. This was before any of this. This was super early, but it was just like swirling around. I had talked about it in a reel, and I was like, you know, look, y'all, we don't really know if she's pregnant or not. And again, this was super early. This was before I tried to find the pictures, but this was before like those pictures of her like with the hospital band came out, like when it seemed like super obvious. This was before even those pictures hit the blogs. I was like, look, we don't really know if Holly's pregnant or not. You know, it's up to her to let us know if she is or not. Let's just stop speculating and just let her do her, right? When Holly and DDG announced the birth of their child a couple weeks ago, people ran to my reel that was posted literally months ago. People all up and down my comments like, oh, see, you were wrong. We were right. Holly was pregnant. You need to correct yourself. And I'm like, first of all, I don't need to do nothing because this is old. Why are y'all going back to an old reel where we didn't have any of this information that we have now, and y'all are up here attacking me because of old information? Mind you, everything I said still stands. You shouldn't be harassing somebody to see if they're pregnant or not. You can have your opinions about it, but leave the girl alone. I still stand by that. But people got upset with me about that. Then I had made an Instagram, I keep saying Instagram reel. I mean YouTube short. Sorry. I made a YouTube short about Lizzo, right? Because Lizzo had talked about, she made some tweets saying that she was sick and tired of people talking about her weight, and she just was getting fed up about it. So I made a YouTube short saying, hey, why is Lizzo being overweight? Why does that piss y'all off so bad? Why do y'all care so bad? Let it go. Her weight doesn't have any effect on y'all. Stop going on this girl's Twitter and social media pages bullying her and saying all kinds of stuff. If you don't like Lizzo because of her weight or whatever, then just don't follow her and don't support her. Leave her alone. Then what happened? 2 to 3 months after I made that, then it came out that she was bullying her dancers and she was body shaming them and doing all kinds of stuff with her. Here come people on that YouTube short. Oh, you're over here defending Lizzo, but Lizzo was over here harassing her dancers and mistreating them. And it's like, again, that didn't happen at the time that I filmed that video. People got upset with me because of that. Then the whole brick lady situation. I talked about the brick lady, you know, the lady that said that she had got hit in the face with a brick because she got rejected by a guy. I made a video about that. Then it came out that she lied. Everybody in my comment section all mad at me because it had came out that she lied. She's like, oh, see, you need to apologize. You need to take this down because it actually came out that she lied. Then even with the Keke Palmer situation, I was standing 10 toes down behind Keke Palmer. And I still don't condone domestic violence. Please don't get it twisted. But then it's starting to come out that Keke might have also been abusive towards Darius. So I'm like, you know what? I quit. I quit with these celebrities, bro. I quit. I can't do it. I can't defend them. I can't say anything because every time I turn around, it comes out that, you know, they weren't who we thought they were. And, you know, I feel like 2024 has been the year of just exposing people and exposing the worst of people, and a lot of things are getting revealed. And so that's why I've just been kind of like falling back on covering celebrity topics, especially if it's me trying to defend something, because I feel like it's like a couple months later it's like, oh no, they actually were a pretty crappy person. And so, you know, I say all that to say, like, it's important that when you're supporting the celebrities, right, that you're not getting so heavily invested that you're now tarnishing, you know, your character. And you know, doing things that are causing harm to other people for the sake of, you know, that celebrity. Especially considering the fact that, again, I'm not saying that celebrities don't care about their fans. I'm sure a lot of them do, but a lot of them don't know you personally. And so to sit there and, again, send death threats to people and do all these things for someone that doesn't even know you specifically. And I would also make the argument that most of these fans or most of these celebrities wouldn't want you to do this. They wouldn't want you to go and attack other people on their behalf. But it's like you feel the need to do that because why?
I'm not adding any particular artist, okay? But the way that y'all ride for some of your artists that you love, it's giving cult. And that's your cult leader, okay? I'm not specifying who, but there are a couple, okay? So
since we are talking about stan culture online with one specific artist, then just to be clear, since we're all on the same page, if stans and their actions have the ability to impact how the general public outside of that stan culture views both the artist and that culture of stans, then what else do you think that applies to? Think real hard.
I feel like social media has played a role in making people feel like they have a close relationship and a close bond to these celebrities and to these public figures. You know, like the term parasocial has been floating around. Like people saying like, oh, social media is creating these parasocial relationships because a lot of these celebrities and public figures, they're sharing, you know, their life, they're sharing their thoughts and opinions, things that would normally not be shared, especially back in the day. Like back in the day, like celebrities were celebrities. Like you didn't really know much about them. You had to find things out from like, you know, blogs and paparazzi and, you know, people having to, you know, try to pull stuff or try to find out things. But celebrities, there was a point in time where being a celebrity came with a lot of just like privacy and secrecy. Like you didn't really know a lot of what, you know, they did behind the scenes or even their thoughts and opinions on things. But in the age of social media, everybody is sharing everything, and it makes you feel like you have that type of relationship and bond with somebody because they're sharing so much of themselves, you know, with their audience and with their supporters.
Overall, I just think parasocial relationships are 100% toxic and need to be critically addressed because they're affecting people's personal lives in a way that's ridiculous. Like, stan culture, child. We ain't gonna do it today.
I don't know who needs to hear this, and I'm only gonna say it once. But your favorite rapper, favorite actor, favorite singer, favorite TikToker, favorite Instagram influencer does not love you. They would not piss on you if you were on fire. They love the revenue that contributes to keeping their mansion clean. They love how you pay for their Maseratis and their Rolexes with your minimum wage bi-weekly checks. But they don't love you. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will also realize that you do not love them.
Do y'all think that the crazy K-pop stan, like, toxic culture has gotten better or worse over time, specifically because of the advent of social media and having an unlimited access to our favorites? Because there are things that are better and there are things that are worse. So maybe it's not better or worse, it's just different. When you hear and read stories of, like, second-gen sasaeng behavior, it definitely seemed like it was worse back then. Some of the things that people were doing are like insane horror stories that you just don't really hear about nowadays. But on the other hand, people are a lot more parasocial with their idols because they really feel like you know them, right? They're constantly on these lives. They are constantly posting on Instagram. They're posting on Twitter. They're posting on TikTok, right? They're really letting you see who they are in a way that people didn't have access back, 10, 20 years ago. And if you look at even outside of, like, K-pop, if you look at just, like, pop in general, at, like, US pop stars, things that were okay and normalized back then are a little bit more looked down upon and frowned at nowadays, such as camping outside of hotel rooms. People obviously still camp outside of hotel rooms, but it is not a large number of people, as opposed to back in, like, the late 90s and early 2000s. You'd have hundreds of people outside of people's hotel rooms. You have, in the case of Michael Jackson, literally thousands upon thousands of people outside of these hotel rooms trying to interact with their favorites, which that just really doesn't happen as much anymore as it did prior to social media. And this is what I'm just kind of getting at is, I was wondering what you all think. Have things gotten better because we have these unlimited access. Like, people are a little more toned down because they don't need to go to such great lengths to get the content and interactions that they desire? Or have things gotten worse because we have the unlimited access and it makes people think that they are best friends with these people in ways that they're not? So, I don't know. Let me know. I'm a little curious. Thanks.
So I feel like because you're now seeing that type of relationship unfold on social media, people feel like it's like their duty to defend these people that they're supporting. But it's like, there's really nothing to defend. Again, if people are getting attacked for no reason, then cool, you could say something. But if someone says, oh, I didn't like Drake's last album, it's not your duty to then go into this person's comments and DMs and attack them for an opinion. That it's an opinion. And then don't even get me started about how stan culture within certain communities are racist against other communities. Like, you know, I've seen a lot of unnecessary comparisons between like a Beyonce and a Taylor Swift. I've seen a lot of Taylor Swift comparisons, to which I'm just like, why are you comparing Taylor Swift to any of these people? I've seen her compared to Beyonce. I've seen her compared to SZA. I think because they were going up against the same award or something like that. But I've seen a lot of people saying like, you know, oh, like these people don't even, you know, stand a chance against Taylor Swift. And it's like, why can't all these people coexist and be good at their craft? Like, why does it have to be we're pitting people against each other? And I see a lot of that. It's like, you'll support somebody and then you have people from another community saying like, oh, well, this person isn't nowhere near where this other person is at. Like, they can't even do what they do. And it's like, why can't they both be great? Why can't I support both? And it's the same thing with like female rap. Like, this idea that you have to pick one. I hate that. I'm someone that enjoys rap. I enjoy female rap. I want to listen to everybody. I want to listen to Megan Thee Stallion. I want to listen to Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Lotto, Coi Leray. I want to listen to everybody. I don't want to have to pick and choose. And that's why I'm like, you know what? That's why I'm not a part of these stan wars and stan culture, because I'm going to listen to everybody, okay? Just because I'm a fan of one person doesn't mean I can't support the music of another person. Like, I'm just not like that. Like, music is music to a certain degree, right? I like everybody. I listen to everybody. I'm going to continue to do that. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of toxicness going on. I've also seen too, like on Twitter, I've seen a lot of K-pop stans being discriminatory against, you know, black artists.
It's actually quite annoying how performative K-pop stans are. And of course, this always has to do with anti-blackness and being racist to black people, because there is such a deep-rooted history of anti-blackness in Asian cultures. So unfortunately, I'm not surprised, but it's just hilarious when stans will call out a group for doing something, but then not call out the group that they stand for doing the exact thing, or other groups that do the exact thing, or the entire K-pop industry. How are you calling out one group from copying and stealing from an artist? How about the entire K-pop industry for consistently doing that with black artists and black people in general? And they want to call them out so they actually seem like they give a fuck. You don't fucking care. This is why K-pop stans do not move me anymore, because this shit is so fucking performative and it's just, they're so fucking hypocritical.
The first experience that I personally do not like in K-pop is kind of like the microaggressions and kind of like the hidden racism. Stuff like, your K-pop idol will never like you. They don't like black girls. And it's like, girl, who says who? I'm sorry, are you talking about the K-pop idols who say their girl celebrity crushes are SZA and Tanashi and Rihanna and Beyonce? Like, are those ones? Oh, okay. Like, I just would always wonder, why do you not want them to like black women? What is so hard to believe about them liking a black girl? I'm just saying, it's stuff like that that's always so like hidden racist. Like, you don't want them to like black girls, and you would actually cry and throw up and slide down your wall if they did. And I think that's a side eye to you.
Like, it's just been a lot of nastiness. It's been a lot of nastiness online with stan culture. And like I said, I just can't get with the toxicness and just being rude and mean and nasty to other people just because they don't share the same opinion as you, or just because they don't support somebody as much as you do. And I keep hoping that, you know, it'll get better someday and, you know, people will calm down, but it seems like it's just getting worse and worse. Like, and I think too is because, and again, not to say that it's necessarily their responsibility to do it, but none of these celebrities are calling for their fans to calm down and chill out. either. A lot of them are indirectly supporting it by not saying anything. They're sitting back, they're watching their fans attack these other people, attack other artists for no reason, trying to compare them to other artists and trying to put down other artists. And they're not saying anything. They're just letting them do it. And again, it's like, because a lot of these celebrities are toxic, their communities are toxic, and it's just nothing but toxicity. And so it's just, I don't want any parts in it, to be honest. Like I said, I have certain artists that I enjoy their music. I have certain people that I just, I enjoy their art and what they put out. But in terms of being like a die-hard like fan and stan of anybody, I can't do it, because I'm just not delusional. I'm not delusional. I'm not toxic. I'm not out here to try and put anybody down or to attack anybody. Now, again, I have a difference of opinion than other people, like when it comes to music, when it comes to anything else. But again, it's like, your opinion is your opinion. I'm not going to sit here and judge you because of your opinion, And that might be another video too that I do about how a lot of artists can't handle people having different opinions anymore. Because now artists are out here threatening folks and blocking people because they don't like a certain project that they put out. Like, it's honestly just insane how people cannot grasp the thought and the idea that people are different from them and they don't support the same stuff that they support. I think that there is a limit. Like, yes, support the people that you support. Yes, if you feel like your favorite artist is getting done dirty, yes, of course, say something, right? Like, you could say something. You could be like, hey, I think this particular artist, like, they keep getting snubbed, right? Like, if they are getting certain awards, or if they are getting kind of like unfairly blacklisted. I mean, we talked about that with Monique. Monique coming out and saying that she was blackballed because she didn't promote a certain movie. I'm sure that Monique fans were riding for her and standing for her and saying, hey, like, this is not okay. Like, and that, I think that's fine. Like, use your power for good is what I'm saying. Use your power when it makes sense, right? If your favorite artist or celebrity is getting done wrong, getting done dirty, or people are unnecessarily attacking them, then okay, say something about it. But if someone just makes a tweet saying, hey, I don't like this song by this particular artist, or oh, I think this song is trash, why are you going back and forth with that person? Let them have their opinion. If you think their opinion is wrong, that's fine, but let them have their opinion. And sure, if you want to express, hey, I actually don't agree with you, I actually like the project because of X, Y, and Z, that's fine too. There's a way to have a healthy discourse about things that you don't disagree with. But what I don't like is when y'all sit here and literally will tear people apart because they don't like the same people that you like. And that's just something that I just cannot get with. And also, again, trying to find people's addresses and send them death threats and all of that to me is just too far, as well as just the delusion behind supporting these people. It's like they can never do anything wrong. I can't get behind that either. Like, I can be a fan of somebody and acknowledge, like, hey, when they said this was wrong, or when they did this was not okay. And I'll bring up Ariana again. When Ariana went to that store and she licked that ice cream, or she licked it was something that she licked. It was like ice cream or a pastry, but it was something that was for public consumption, and like she licked it and like walked out the store or whatever. That was not okay. Just because I say that that's not okay doesn't mean that I'm not a fan of Ariana. I can just acknowledge that she did something that was not okay. And it's like none of these fans want to hold their favorites accountable either. And so that's why they probably feel like they can do and say whatever, because their fans aren't ever going to hold them accountable and call them out when they are wrong. They're never gonna do it. And I feel like it just feeds into this unhealthy idolization of these people, of like, oh, they can never do anything wrong. It's like, no, they can. They can. We all do, like they look at them as almost like they're not human, they're not real people, and they are real people. We're all real people who make mistakes and that do things. And again, it's just like I can't be of the belief that celebrities can do no wrong, or I have to like everything that they do. Like, I am my own person. I have my own mind, my own thoughts, my own ideas, my own opinions, and it just feels like when you're somebody that is like that, you can't identify as a stan because it doesn't align with what that culture is. And so yeah, if you consider yourself to be a stan of any of these celebrities, I just hope that you're doing it in a way that is healthy, and that you're not in these communities spreading hate, being mean, and tearing down other people. I think that all in all, being a true fan of somebody is just, again, supporting their work and sharing your love, you know, for that artist with other fans of that community. But then when it gets to all that other stuff, I just feel like that's just not, that's not okay. And there has to be a better way to spend your time than sitting online making other people feel bad or trying to put other people down because, again, of a difference of opinion or because they don't like the people that you like. Like, it's okay to not like the same people. It's okay to not like the same music. It's okay. Support who you want to support and allow other people to support who they want to support, and just, you know, let that be that. Don't be rude, don't be mean, don't sit online all day searching up that person's name and looking for reasons to pick a fight. Find something else to do. Please, find a hobby, find something else to do with your time, because I can't imagine that doing that all day is any healthier for you in your mental state either. And so I'm hoping that things change. I'm hoping that things start to calm down, because I think a lot of people are getting tired of this whole stan culture. I think people are tired of just the toxicity of these fan bases. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting out of hand, and I felt like I've just seen the worst of the worst, especially with this whole grave site situation. But again, you're gonna have people that are going to be in this comment section being delusional, saying that I'm making stuff up, saying that, you know, X, Y, and Z, trying to justify all the horrible things that have happened. It is what it is. You know, y'all got it. I've said my piece. I've said what I said, and yeah, but let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, respectfully. Let me know if you do consider yourself to be a stan of any of these celebrities, and, you know, let me know if anything that I said resonated with you, if you agree with anything that I said, and like I said, if you respectfully disagree with anything that I said, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and get a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.